Alright, welcome back. This is M-Dog, and we are doing a little float fishing here at Tunguska. I actually do have one feeder in, which probably won't do much of anything. We'll see, but I'm skeptical that that will do much of anything. So, as I say that, we start to get a nibble. Alright, so yeah, if you're still leveling up float fishing, these are the kind of spots you're looking for if you're high enough level to come to Tunguska. Simply because you can still make a decent amount of silver, and it's actually quite fun once you get the hang of it, which it's been a while since I've done this, so I'm not sure that I actually have the hang of it, but we'll see. Ooh, interesting. Excuse me, sorry about that. Alright, so first fish on feeder is a perch, and that may just be the reality here, is that feeder might not be worth even having in. A lot of folks would use 3 rods for float fishing. I struggle enough with 2 that, as you see, I miss plenty of bites, so I really wouldn't want to try 3, at least not till I got some practice in. So one thing we need to do is, if we don't get a bite pretty soon, we kind of need to open the bail back on the float rod so it can drift. Alright, so there's a Muksin. And obviously you don't want to see the float go under for that long and not get it, but still check it, because every once in a while the fish will auto hook. Normally with float fishing it doesn't. Unfortunately, you have to be there to set the hook, which is why it may even be, for me, justifiable just to use 1 rod. We'll see how this goes. But the main thing we want to check here is just how are the quality. Like, are there a lot of markers coming out of the water right now? And alright, we'll do this. Yep, okay, so now we've got 2 on. Both of the fish seem to be about the same size, so we'll go ahead and pull this one in. Again, a little risky. That first one could obviously get away now that we have engaged the second one. But a lot of times it won't once you've actually got it on the line like that. So if you get 2 bites at the same time, I think we'll be too slow on this one. If you get 2 bites at the same time, sometimes that is okay. And I haven't done any testing here, just going off of, according to what I'm seeing on VK, this spot's doing okay, so I'm just going to try it here for you. And yeah, so far it seems pretty good. We're getting a pretty decent percentage of markers. And again, good way to level up your float fishing and still get some decent money and XP. I will try to show you exactly what the setup looks like once we get to a breaking point here. But we are using, the depth is 1.5 meters. And the clip I'm using is 15. That looks a little small. Still marker though, not bad. And we did not leave the, I haven't really been leaving the bail open actually, because the bite rate's pretty good. So I've been closing the bail. If I see that it's drifting too far, I can always look at the rod and then hit K to open it. But it's a little easier to set the hook with control right click if the bail's already closed. You just don't have to worry about closing it real quick before you set it. So like this one, we'll go ahead and open that one up. And then if we get a bite, which we are now, we have to remember to close it, and then we can try to set the hook. I definitely went too early there. That was just a nibble. But that's okay. A lot of these bites seem to be happening kind of right where we're casting, which is almost south. I think in the beginning I was even casting farther. I'm surprised that one actually stayed on. Oh, both of them did. So let's move it even farther, like actually south here. And see what this looks like. Oh, point and float fishing on one of the smallest broad whitefish we've caught. That's always welcome. So we do have happy hour going right now. So our chance of getting points in float fishing is increased. Starting to see some slower ones. I mean, sorry, some smaller ones. And that is at least partially, I would say, because it's a little later in the morning. You get that really nice hot spot first thing in the morning. And then it will slow down a little bit. The percentage of markers might go down a little bit, but I think we'll still see some pretty good fish mixed in. It's worth doing throughout the day. I think normally it's not worth doing overnight. There's probably something better to do overnight, but during the day you're pretty good. There we go. Be cool if we could actually get a marker Muksin, sort of the more rare one. Obviously they are here, but I've only seen the one small one. Now, if you don't have sandwich bait unlocked, obviously we're using caddisfly and stonefly larva, size 4 hooks with 12.3 fluorocarbon line. If you don't have sandwich bait unlocked, still worth trying. Just, you know, trying both of these baits or other ones. Sometimes just redworm works really well for these fish. Just kind of depends on what they're biting on at the moment, but I actually thought my premium had run out. I guess I've got 2 days left. Yeah, that's the wrong one, isn't it? Yeah, I missed both bites there. Or missed this bite entirely. I just realized there's no way I've got a happy hour if my premium ran out, so. Alright, both bales are open. Getting another bite. Let's see if it's another another perch getting on our feeder. Yeah, I just waited too long. There we go, that should be a marker. It is interesting how it doesn't seem like you catch the same fish species on bottom as you do with these float setups. I guess maybe we'll just start opening them. Depends on how far south we cast. Sometimes the bite's not coming in before they reach the end of the line. So we are past noon now. Maybe a little bit of a drier spell till we get later in the afternoon. I think I want to just keep them right here in front of me, not let them drift too far down. We're definitely getting a lot less marker range. Now that that's going to be hard to tell the difference there. They pretty much are on top of each other. So red is number 2, yellow is number 1. Oh shoot, I didn't see it go down. I was a little fortunate there. There was so much slack in the line. I didn't do much to set the hook. I think the fish just kind of auto hooked that time. Something small. You can tell like when it's just a little bitty nibble versus a broad whitefish. Let's see if we go a little deeper here in the hot part of the day, if that makes a difference. Actually, my thinking might be backwards there. I don't know. Some fish at least might come up more towards the surface during the sun. I'm not sure. Overcast day though. Try that again on the 2 meter here. So what bait are we using over here? This stonefly. Let's change this to caddisfly and see if it catches anything different. So there's our first fish at 2 meters. Let's Still broad whitefish. A little larger, but still not marker. So the only thing is we have gotten, on average, much smaller fish right now. Man, I cannot stand when there's that much slack in it. That's why in the beginning I liked what I was doing with not opening the bail unless the bite didn't come in for a while. Maybe we'll try that again. I don't know if... I wouldn't think opening the bail would have any effect on bite rate. That would be silly, but... you never know with the way things are programmed. Nice. Something small. Let's get the nice one in first. Not that this is huge, but it's a little bit bigger. It's over 1 kilo again. Very nice. Alright, it's a little later too. Maybe we'll start seeing those again. So let's go back to 1.5 meter on depth on both of them. Ooh. Hold everything. Huh. I wonder if we actually caught a broad whitefish here on caddisfly with the feeder. Oh, no, it's a little Nelma, isn't it? Interesting. Okay. So weird. I'll take it, though. All right. Hopefully this time of day, maybe we'll see a big whitefish here. All right. Ooh, that's not bad. So I'm just going to focus on this one. The other one may get away, but my impression was that the other one was not quite this size. So let's hope that we picked the right one to pursue. Oh, yes, we did. Point and float fishing. And finally, a Muksin worth talking about. And this one actually held up for us. Yeah, we definitely chose correct. Look at that, 2 Muksin in a row, though. That's got to be a time of day thing, right? You would think. Mess that one up. Let's see what this is, though. Ah. Let's just mess up 2 in a row. How about it? And this is the time of day we want to see what these fish are. Oh man, it's like the worst time ever to get a bite there. Alright. Let's try to get back in sync here. I'm going to keep them closed till they get straight ahead, and then I'll open them. Because when it's closed like that, I feel like... Oh, that one was open? Hey, we still got it. When it's closed like that, I feel like it's a much better chance of just hooking it immediately. There's another nice one. Alright, we'll close it. Because when we throw straight south, it's got a ways before we have to worry about it getting too far out for the line. There we go. So you may have to reel in a little bit of slack, but... Oh, shoot. Hey, we got it. Alright, let's get this one in real quick. Neither one of these are great fish, so let's just kind of keep it going here. So that was a weekly record Muksin, which is kind of fun. So now y'all have something to target. Come beat my weekly Muksin. Sure, it won't be a problem. Wasn't that big. I think something might be on our feeder. Maybe not. It looks kind of like it's going off farther to the side right now. The bite rate is so solid, it's hard to test it. This is so different than it was in the middle of the day. You kind of see like the value of... yeah, we're going to miss both bites. The value of morning and evening. With almost any kind of fishing in this game, there are some exceptions, obviously, like with bream or burbot. Some things just have specific times, but so many fish, you're doing most of your damage. We should just leave it up there. Doing most of your damage first thing in the morning or in the late afternoon, evening. I want to grab the feeder, but I don't think we can with both floats out there. Nice. And notice that was a lot closer clip, so don't be afraid to move it around a little bit, I guess. That fish is on, isn't it? Yeah. You could tell that one auto hooked. It just started running with the line. It wasn't just sitting there. Another Nelma. That's awesome. But this one was on float, not on... Ooh, look at Relicade catching... some rare carp. Alright, sorry, we probably just missed a bite or two there. Nice. Yes, I love it. I mean, this is super fun here at the right time of day because so many of these fish are the size you want them to be. Oh, that's another nice one. Is this open? Yeah, it was closed. Might have done better if it had been open once it got to that point. Nice. You've got a window of time that you've got to get to the bite on most fish. Sometimes it'll be more forgiving. and it'll auto hook, or you'll have just a little bit bigger window, but seems like most fish, you've got a little window. If you miss it, you miss it. And you're going to miss some bites anyway, but you have a lot better chance. It's really nice that they put this control right-click function in the game where you can set the hook. We got both of them. Okay, the one on the first rod's a bigger fish, so I technically probably should have just put this down and gotten that one, but they've been so nice and waiting on us recently that I'm getting a little braver on just letting it sit there. It's another nice broad whitefish. Oh, somebody got it on a UL. That's kind of fun. Weekly record UL Muksin. Yes. Now we watch the other float because we don't mind setting that one down. Ooh, this is a nice one too. I don't know which one to get. I guess we'll go with this one. They're both about the same, I think. Probably like 1.5 kilos. That one actually was too. Alright, this is a blast. Look at that. Another nice one. This is so fun. I might let the spot rest and do it again after a while. I don't know if you have to let this spot rest. It might just be pretty solid. We've ended up with a pretty decent net, I think. I haven't kept everything, but I've kept almost everything, so we've got a lot of non-markers in our net right now, but I want to let them float a little farther, see if we can't get a quick bite on one of them here. Nope. So we want to recast that one. We'll go to at least, oh shoot, there it goes. We'll go to at least 20. So about another 45 minutes in game. And it would be active a little past that, but it does start to slow down once it gets to be nighttime. Typically, at least. So I guess the ideal would be to like go ahead and have 3 feeder rods ready to go and maybe catch some eastern bream at night, something like that. Now I don't know how good the eastern bream spots are. There are a couple of them that sometimes work right near here. So you just have to test them, but this is pretty intense fishing for this game, like pretty active when you're float fishing like this. So it's also reasonable just to like throw out a couple of feeder rods that you might get a lucky catfish on or something, and also just kind of take a break for a few minutes while it's overnight. Oh, look at that amul. That's a nice one. Dang. Yeah, that's a really nice amul. I like that. Got it. Did not get it. Oh, another Muksin. We've seen him a little more than I was expecting. Oh, shoot. That was a fast bite. Look at that. That's why we're throwing straight south. Sometimes we're getting that quick hit straight south. Again, we're using 15-meter clip at 1.5 meter depth. 12.3 fluorocarbon line is what we're using. Obviously, you could do leaders here, but the straight fluorocarbon seems to be doing pretty good. Size 4 hooks, and we are going with the caddisfly and the stonefly larva right now. There's probably other bait combinations that would work as well, but this seems to be doing pretty well. pretty good. Alright, let's cast them both one more time, see if we can get one more nice fish from one of them. And you definitely could do this with 3 rods, but for me, it just feels so chaotic. I think it contributes to me missing even more when I've got that many rods going. Hopefully one of these will hit one more time. I don't know, as long as we're over like, I don't know, 200 silver or something, it'll feel worth it. I mean, again, some of it is you're leveling up float fishing, but you're making more silver, more XP than you typically would on a lot of float fishing spots in the game. And if you don't have a strong enough setup yet for doing this kind of match rod fishing or float fishing, sometimes the better choice is at Octuba going with, you know, when some of those small fish are active, because they're also pretty decent on silver, and you just don't need as big a setup for those things. You can often do even telestick, but if you've got Tunguska unlocked and you've got a couple of decent match rods, I'll go ahead and show you what I'm using here. I was just seeing if we get a nibble even farther down on this one. It's getting a little late. The moon is out. You still get a couple of decent ones potentially, but I feel like this is where we start to see it slow down a little bit. So let's look a little closer at the setup we're using. So I've got the Rebellion match rods, which does give us some bonuses, but any kind of match rod will do. We're using 12.3 fluorocarbon. You could do this with a little less strength than that. I don't think I'd want to do it with less than maybe 10, because, you know, occasionally we're seeing Nelma, and some of the larger broad whitefish or Muksin are going to give you a run for your money if you go too small. Size 4 hooks. Obviously, we're using some wagglers here to see the bites really nice and clear, and then caddisfly and stonefly larvae. Now, I was trying to think, cheaper options for match rods. This sport match is a little small, 14 kilo. And remember, you can only use a 1, 2, or 3,000 reel on there. This Meteor is not ideal, but you could set this up to go like right at 10 kilo. And these little sport match rods, they give you a little bit of bonus to XP. And I like the way they look, I like the way they feel. So something like that would be a much cheaper way to do some match rod fishing here. All right, so let's see how we did. First, just in terms of the net itself, 270 silver. I will take that. And again, you might make another 100 or so at night if you could find an eastern bream spot or hit a few catfish. Let's see, cafe wise, we're probably not going to be hitting any of this in this spot. So nothing going on at the cafe right now. So we'll go ahead and sell our fish. But I really like that. This is a fun little spot. So we were standing right around 82, 100 or so. And kind of casting straight south. 15-meter clip, 1.5 depth. Hope y'all enjoyed. Tight lines, everybody. I will see you next time. Peace out.